Get down. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Today is get off. Today is Saturday, November the 6th, 2021. As you can see, I'm stapling up new 6 mil plastic. After I finish stuffing some insulation in on the end walls. I had this black plastic up. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but somehow the phone flipped and recorded from the other side all of a sudden. So anyway, I put this 6 mil plastic up last night, and I still got to staple a few more strips of wood on this side yet. I put half a bat of Rockwell insulation on the end of each joist, and then put the skirting back up the best I could. As this trailer has been sinking, it basically ripped the skirting right off of it and smashed it all up. I had this black plastic on here since 2014, but I guess the weather and the sun got to it and basically shredded it all halfway through last winter. So I had snow blowing up through the floor, and because there's no rug inside the house anymore because I had to rip it all out after the flood. But I don't know how much good it's going to do. At least it'll stop the wind and snow from blowing through, because the wind comes out of the north right here really wildly, and last 2 winters I haven't been able to get it above 40 degrees inside the house because this plastic was shredded and stuff, and it was still up there, but it was in not the best shape. And basically when it was flooded, it was in the early weeks of April. It was mild like it is now, and I was gone out of town for 3 or 4 days, and it went down to 25 below, and my ex-wife broke in and turned the switch off for the boiler, and her and her brother-in-law cut the pipe under the kitchen sink, and when I came home there was ice all down the driveway, and I couldn't get in the door because there was like 2 inches of ice on the floor. When I opened the skirting up, the ice was right up to the floor on the underneath side here. And when spring came and it started to melt, the heavy ice blocks between all the joists was only 3/8 plywood, which was already old already because this is a 1972 mobile home. The weight of that ice between every joist and the wetness as it melted caved it all down, so none of the floors have any insulation underneath them anymore. So the floors are ice cold in the wintertime, and it got to the point that you know, I sleep in my snowsuit every night, basically live in it 24 hours a day. And I have an electric heater in the bathroom so I can have at least a warm shower. Now I just burn wood now because the boiler shot. So anyway, to get back to this, I got to put up a few more strips of wood in between these ones, because I just did this the end of the day yesterday, and I taped it up there, and then I just grabbed a few pieces of wood so the wind wouldn't blow it off. It was getting dark. So today I'm just going to finish off and put a piece in between each one of these, and I got it weighed down the bottom, and I got strips nailed on top of the skirting here so that the wind doesn't flop it around too much. And hopefully I can get it above 40 degrees this winter. I don't know, the floors are always ice cold. There's the round bale feeder. You can see they've almost polished off that bale. This is the third day now, so I figure I'll be going through a bale of hay as it gets colder, 25, 40 below. I'll probably be going through a bale every 2 days, if not more. But I'm basically figuring on 2 days, because I was going through, when I bought those 2 pregnant cows in the spring, but I had 2 steers that had to go to freezer camp in March, and so I was going through a bale of hay every 2 days with them, but it was already, March was already staying around the 20, 25 below, with the odd day in 30. So this is what I'm working on today to finish up. Try and stop some of the wind, and because and every year, every spring the trailer, every winter the trailer heaves up in the air as the wet clay underneath freezes. It heaves it up and down, and the door doesn't close properly. You got to really beat it to get it open and beat it to get it closed, because it's never dried underneath there, because clay doesn't dry. It just stays wet. Like, I've tried to lift this trailer, because this side of the trailer is down about 6 inches. So when you walk in the trailer, it feels like you're walking downhill when you come to this side. And I put 3 railway ties down underneath on this corner, just under here, on the ground, and then 1 on top, and I tried to jack it with a 10-ton jack, and the trailer lifted off the timbers about maybe an inch, so I was able to get a shim in there of an inch thick, but the timbers kept pushing into the ground. I think I pushed, just to get that inch, I think I pushed 2 timbers into the ground, 2 railway ties. That's how wet it is underneath there. And it's always been that wet since the flood. Even though it's got good drainage out of there, because I had built the clay up a little bit higher than what the rest of the ground is around it, but it just doesn't dry. Even with the skirting open on the other side for the wind to blow through in the summertime, it doesn't dry. And but the wind comes like 50, 60 miles an hour, blowing snow, everything from the north here, pretty wildly. Well, it basically comes like on an angle like this, pretty violently. And I have a pinhole in my 4-way valve up there. Cheap Chinese crap. I had one on the other side this summer, and I ground it out with a die grinder, and I put a 2-part epoxy in there, fixed that one, and now 2 little pinholes have showed up on the other side. No, we're not going in the truck. I just fed the pigs. So they're all sitting there eating. And today I'm hoping I can get my tow hooks and off, and my front trailer hitch, which is right there back on the front of my truck, and these 2 tow hooks back on that go on the front, because I end up pulling people out of the ditch every winter. This is what holds them on. These plates go up in the frame, and then these bolts go through. Hoping to get that back on there. I'll use the forklift to hold the trailer hitch up underneath the truck. because I'm only one person and it's hard to do that. I'm hoping I can get that done today. I'm hoping I can get a boom truck fired up and see if those pressures helped, or taking that pressure relief valve apart and cleaning it because it was full of guck in there, and see if I got any proper pressure back. Because like I said, I only had like 800 pounds. And I put the pressure relief valve back in after I cleaned it all out, as you seen in the last video, a couple of videos ago. And again today, it's overcasted. It's about 50, no, not 50. It's about 43 degrees right now. No wind. It's just after 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Hey, King. Yeah, I'm still looking after that guy's dog that the old neighbor that used to live there tried to kill by ramming him on his bicycle 4 times with his pickup truck. So he's still in rehab yet, and I'm still looking after his dog well a year and 2 months later. He was charged with attempted murder, but he's still out on bail. He hasn't gone to court. But we were able to seize his property and sell it as part of the ongoing lawsuit. And there's a new neighbor now in there. It's the son of the woman that lives in the property right behind him on Auto Road. Danny's his name. A bachelor with 2 kids from a marriage gone bad too. So anyway, I'll leave it at that for now, and we'll maybe come back later today. Yeah, so I got the front trailer hitch sitting on the forklift forks there underneath the truck, and I got the hook laying on the ground right close to the frame, so I can crawl under there and put these plates in the frame and the bolts through. The reason why I had to take it off is I had to drop that front stump pan in order to change the pitman arm, and so I had to, in order for that front stump pan to swing down and take it out completely, I had to remove the trailer hitch that I put in there. I actually built that trailer hitch when I had the U-Haul dealership, so I could easily move trailers around the lot until I bought this forklift, and then I have a piece of channel iron that slides on the forks with a ball on it that I used to move them around with after. But what I use it for now is I put a tubing inside that hitch with a couple of angle irons that stand vertical that go closer to the ground. So when I'm pushing the bale of hay into the feeder area, I'm not pushing on my grill. And I used to push it with the front bumper, but it's too high up, and it would just try and push the bale over, even when it was laying on its side. Like, these are upright right now, but when I would drag them, I would pull them onto their side. And without that piece of steel out front that comes to my license plate there, it was too high up, and they wanted to just lift the bale up, and the front end of the truck would ride up on it.